Hello, welcome. My name is Bill Murphy. The League of Women Voters of Fresno would like you to know what's at stake when you go to the polls on Tuesday, June 3rd for the primary election. So they've asked me to moderate a forum today in which we hope to learn from the candidates their views and positions on important issues connected with the office. The League of Women Voters is a nonpartisan organization. It does not endorse candidates or political parties. We're thankful to the Community Media Access Collaborative for their help in producing this forum. Our slate of candidates includes two people running for the Fresno County Board of Supervisors, District 4. They are Steve Rapada and Buddy Mendes. Each candidate will make a 1-minute opening statement, followed by questions from me. And then each candidate will have a 1 minute to answer, and a 30-second rebuttal will be allowed after that if desired. Finally, each candidate will make a 1-minute closing statement. So Steve Rapada is going to be the first to offer his opening statement for 1 minute.
Well, I want to say thank you to the League of Women Voters of Fresno for this opportunity to participate in this great forum. I was born and raised in the Reedley area. I grew up the son of a farm worker. I worked in the fields around Sanger, Reedley, Kingsburg, Fowler, Orange Cove. This taught me the meaning of hard work and perseverance. I've spent the last 35 years mentoring kids through our athletics programs and have helped develop youth organizations in the same communities I previously mentioned. My father ran farm labor crews from the 1930s to the late 80s, and he is still alive today and will be 102 years old in August. He taught me integrity, character, to serve people, and to leave things better than I found it. My wife Brenda and I, along with many great volunteers, have walked the precincts of the communities in the district since October of last year, and we have walked the city of Coalinga 3 times itself. The county supervisors make over $100,000 a year, and if the taxpayers are paying for this kind of a wage, it is a full-time job. Our district and county is too large, with too many issues that need solutions, not to have the supervisor's full-time attention. I will make it my only full-time job to serve the people as a public servant.
Thank you. Buddy Mendes, your opening statement.
Hi, I'm Buddy Mendes from Riverdale. Me and my wife Leslie have 3 boys, 4 grandchildren, and soon to have a 5th. I farm 1,800 acres in the Kings River and Westlands irrigation districts. As a family farmer, I have a clear understanding of the agricultural economy and which drives our economy. I have served on the Riverdale Unified School Board, Public Utility District, and the Southwest Transportation District for 18 years. I have been very successful in what I have done. Riverdale Unified has one of the highest graduation rates and has the highest percentage reserves of any school district in Fresno County. I am committed to work with Sheriff Margaret Mims on our jail overcrowding, and I've had very unique experiences, and I've been very successful for 20 years, and I can do the same for Fresno County.
Thank you. Mr. Mendes, you'll be the first for the first question. What specific background, experiences, and skills do you think make you the best candidate for District 4 Supervisor?
Well, I've served 18 years on Southwest Transportation, which brings the unique experiences of 5 school districts together. School districts have a tendency to have a unique culture of their own, and I've been able to bring them together, hold them together. My farming experiences, the fact that I do farm in Westlands and in a Kings River unit, I think are very, very important aspects. And I've signed the front side of a check for the last 35 years.
Thank you. Steve Rapada, what specific background, experiences, and skills make you the best candidate?
Well, I was elected twice to the Reedley City Council. I have over 20 years experience in private and public sector contracting, procurement, creating and executing large balanced budgets, and helping to create true cash reserves in my local community. I served on the Council of Governments. I've served on the Upper Kings River Integrated Water Authority, 5 Cities Commission, Fresno County Airport Land Use Commission, the Measure B Library Commission, and I've collaborated with city, state, and federal officials and have made key successful relationships in getting the job done to bring millions of dollars of infrastructure, bringing also to the helping with stopping the closure of 47 rural hospitals within our area by taking a delegation to the state and speaking to the legislators and convincing them not to close those hospitals. I think this experience makes me the qualified candidate.
Thank you. Now you'll be the next one for this question. Fresno County's, Mr. Rapada.
Yes, sir.
Fresno County's general plan is undergoing a major review requiring approval by the Board of Supervisors. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 meaning not at all important, and 10 meaning extremely important, what priority would you give to land use planning? And give the reasons for your choice.
Well, again, land use planning, for me, it would be a 10. It's very vital that we know how we're going to use and develop our lands. I highly support the Williamson Act as a planning tool. I think that we need to work well to preserve our agricultural lands, as it's our #1 economy builder in our area. Also, too, though, I see that while the cities are more apt to be able to developing communities and housing, I think the county should continue in that. As in past years, small little water district areas and other small areas have developed in rather large cities because they've found ways to be self-sustainable.
All right, thank you. Mr. Mendes, land use planning, how important?
Well, land use planning is probably the most important thing that the county does, and it is very important that we do preserve our agricultural lands. The Williamson Act is most important to me, but I think there is water is the key. All our development, we have to make sure we have water for our developments that we do have. And the county needs to work with the cities and smooth out some of the issues in land use and in spheres of influence and other matters that it takes, and also work out differences between the cities and Fresno County Fire.
Thank you. Mr. Mendes, the Fresno County Council of Governments, known as COG, recently released its 2014 Regional Transportation Plan and its affiliated Environmental Impact Report for a public comment period. It appears that the county is spending 60% of its capacity enhancing funding on northeast Fresno County. Are you supportive of the county focusing transportation funds in the northeast part of the county?
Yes, I am. I think what they have done right now is important. We need to finish those projects that they've started, but we need to look south also and finish 41 South and do start working west and get 180 going west.
All right, Mr. Rapada, are you supportive of the county focusing transportation funds in the northeast part of the county?
Yes, I would also support that, in that we want to continue and finish projects as they've been scheduled. But also, I highly support continuing our Highway 180 to the east and west to its completion. We also need to work with COG and the cities around our area to make sure that we're utilizing dollars for good, safe, clean roads throughout the county and within the cities. The safety of our citizens is of the utmost importance, and our county roads and our infrastructure need to be redeveloped.
All right, thank you. Well, Mr. Rapada, what do you think are the most pressing issues related to mental health facing our county, and how do you see these issues tackled?
Well, I have a great concern with the mental health issue. I think we need to provide the proper funding so that we can provide services to these citizens who need our help. It's a fundamental fact that the county is responsible for the health and welfare of its citizens, and we must find ways to bring in new programs, utilize existing facilities, but the biggest issue we have is providing funding. So we must reach out to the state, federal government to grants to find the dollars to provide the services needed.
Thank you. Mr. Mendes, what are the most pressing issues related to mental health facing our county?
In my triad for public safety, it is very important that we do take care of public health, because some of the mental health issues right now are affecting the whole criminal justice system. Until we address them, the system's always going to be plugged up and jammed. I think it's also very important that we do look out for outside sources, state and federal, to make sure that things that are being mandated down to us are being fully funded.
Thank you. Mr. Mendes, according to a recent Fresno Bee article, we in the Fresno-Clovis area are fortunate to have a fairly large aquifer of fresh water to tap for our needs. However, continuous pumping might deplete this resource. What steps do you favor to maintain our access to clean water?
Well, we need you actually asked two questions, but I'll answer the groundwater question. It is very important that we have local control and have KRCD, the City of Fresno Public Works, and Westlands Irrigation District as the main drivers in our underground water, and actually work on what's obtainable and what's sustainable. I think there's a serious problem with clean drinking water, but I think the Fresno Bee would be the last place I would look, because they are not doing a good job in reporting exactly what's going on, because there actually is clean water in deeper aquifers just for public drinking only that would work very well.
Mr. Rapada, what steps do you favor to maintain our access to clean water?
Well, the biggest thing is that we need new and upgraded infrastructure for our water needs. You know, I fully support Temperance Flats as a long-term solution for water storage. Unfortunately, since 2012, our water tables in our district area have dropped immensely. You know, we need to find ways to set up good infrastructure to be prepared to capture the rainwaters and water ability in the future when we do have wet years. We need to be able to recharge our underground water basins through water banking, groundwater recharge basins, and we also need to look at dredging and cleaning our reservoirs to gain more capacity so we're prepared to capture water when it is available. But the biggest thing about the clean water is that we need to take the time to assess the communities that are having the biggest issues and finding, again, the funding through collaboration to solve those clean water drinking issues.
All right, thank you. Any rebuttal?
I kind of want to have him explain what this dredging is. I don't quite understand that. And water banking is very important, but we need to, in a flood year, the water comes so fast that we can do more on water banking, but it'll never be the answer to the problem.
Well, you know, when you speak about dredging, we're looking at building capacity. You know, I'm in support of raising our dams, but Friant Dam currently cannot be raised because it does not have enough capacity. A recent study in the UC system showed that over 190 of our reservoirs have lost 25 to 50% capacity to silt and sediment over the past 50 years. So it's time during the dry years to clean up and dredge to gain more capacity so that we're prepared.
Thank you. Mr. Rapada, a shortage of comprehensive health services for children has been a particular issue here. How might we harness our local resources to address the shortcomings?
Well, you know, children are near and dear to my heart. I've spent 35 years of my life working to mentor young kids and put them on the right path to the straight and narrow. We have in our community, unfortunately, over 4,000 children that go to bed at night without a dinner meal. That's not healthy at all. We need, and I'm happy to say that I work for an organization that helps in collaboration and funding to several key organizations in providing healthcare services. I think outside of what the county is capable of doing, the collaboration, once again, is the key. We have many organizations out there that are providing health care services to children and their families, and we need to continue to work with our state, federal legislators to provide the funds to these organizations to supplement what the county and the cities are able to do.
Thank you. Health services for children, Mr. Mendes? How
Well,
do we harness our resources for the shortcut?
Well, like I said, I've got soon to have 5 grandchildren. I think children they're the next generation. They're the most important thing that we have. And we need to continue to work with organizations that are trying to work with children, and they need to be made sure that they can supplement what the counties and cities are trying to do. And we need to continue to look for that and continue to help out organizations that are actually out there trying to supplement what the county and city are doing.
Thank you. Mr. Mendes, there is an issue that I think we need to address that we don't particularly have an oar in, but it's high-speed rail. What is your position on high-speed rail?
My position on high-speed rail, I think it's the greatest con job ever put on the voters. And if you look at the Tos-Fukuda case, it's obvious that the rail board has broken the covenant with the voters. And I think that is very important, that when voters approve something, government does what the voters say. And there was supposed to be a third of the money was supposed to be from private, another third from the federal government, and only a third from the state. And the way they're doing it right now, it's never going to get done. And it's going to be a shame, because we are going to waste the bonding capacity that the state has on a bad project. It's going to cost way more than what's being predicted.
Thank you, Mr. Rapada.
Well, with high-speed rail, unfortunately, I think we've left out the fact that no one did the full checklist. I have lots of questions regarding the high-speed rail. You know, we can't get them to give us the true cost. Is it $98 million? Is it $68 million? Again, to promote something that you've had the voters, and I respect the voters when they pass bills and pass when the voters pass and enact the system and a project like this. But with these questions that I have, you know, how do we get people from the rural areas to the train stations to then go on to Fresno and from Fresno to Los Angeles and San Francisco? And what does that cost? And how do families in our area afford that cost? Once there, then how do you get around Los Angeles or San Francisco? What transportation is provided? I think there's too many questions to move forward at this time. I support good, clean mass transit, but again, is it going to be subsidized like Amtrak? And if we're going to do that, why wouldn't we just subsidize the airlines and bring the prices down and move people that way?
Any rebuttal?
Well, I think it still is the covenant of the voter was broken. And that's the most important thing. What is being presented is not what is being built.
And I think I've spoke to that in the fact that, again, the checklist was not created and the checklist was not checked off. There are too many questions to move forward at this time with this project.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. And now, each candidate is going to have the opportunity for a 1-minute closing statement. The first will be from Buddy Mendes.
Again, thank you for the opportunity to talk to you today, and I want to thank the League of Women Voters. I've been solving problems in Riverdale for over 20 years, and I have the respect of everyone that I've worked on, no matter what their background is. I know I can carry over the good that I've done in the Riverdale area to Fresno County. I am endorsed by Supervisor Judy Case, Sheriff Margaret Mims, law enforcement, businesses, farmers, and many longtime friends. I would be honored for your vote on June the 3rd, and I look forward to representing you as a Fresno County Supervisor.
Thank you. Now, Steve Rapada, your closing statement.
Well, my biggest endorsement is when I knock on a door and I talk to someone for 2, 5, 10 minutes and it ends with, Steve, I'm going to vote for you. That's the greatest endorsement you can get as a candidate. You know, I have over 20 plus years in working with large budgets, with working in contracting, with overseeing capital projects. I've been elected twice to the Reedley City Council, where I was proud of the work that I did collaborating within our area and our local communities to bring projects not only to Reedley but to the surrounding areas. You know, I think my work with youth and with the job that I currently have lends the great capacity to have knowledge to know how the county works and what the needs are and how to solve those needs. I think that's the key, is solutions. And again, earlier I brought up the fact that this is a $100,000 a year plus job. It's a full-time job that needs to be given full-time representation. This is something that I will do. I would leave my current position to take this on full-time, and this would be my only job, to serve the people as a public servant, to provide good, strong representation to each and all. This will not be my hobby.
Thank you. You've been watching a forum organized by the League of Women Voters of Fresno with the production assistance by the Community Media Access Collaborative of Fresno. I'm Bill Murphy. Thanks for watching.